Five-time, 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 five-time AFC Conference champions with yet another trip to the Super Bowl for your Kansas City Chiefs. We're back, baby. Like I said, there was never any doubt. We're going back to the Super Bowl to face, like I said, the rematch against the Philadelphia Eagles because they spanked that ass on the Detroit Lions. And I told you guys it was going to happen. I told you, And again, for two reasons. They got slaughtered because of the injuries, but also they weren't ready. Like I said, experience matters in these motherfuckers. But we'll cover that. We're going to cover the game with the whiny ass shit that Sean McDermott said after the game. More ref blaming instead of just saying your team sucks donkey ass. We'll get into a little bit of the Lions and the Eagles, and we'll preview the big game, the Super Bowl rematch from 2 years ago. Chiefs versus Eagles yet again, except it's not the Kelsey Bowl. All that, much more. We'll see how this episode goes. Hit the music.
Murder. Most foul.
Welcome to Most Foul TV. This is Most Foul TV with your host, Dante Pena.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Most Foul TV. I'm your host, Don Pena, and this is Most Foul Chief. Let's get right into it. Once again, congratulations to your Kansas City Chiefs, the great Patrick Mahomes, the GOAT of all tight ends, Travis Kelce, Chris Jones, George Karlaftis, the rookie sensation, Xavier Worthy, the comeback kid, Kareem Hunt, the finally made it to the Dan Cinderella story of DeAndre Hopkins, all contributing to going back to the Super Bowl as Kansas City Chiefs, Super Bowl 59. Chiefs versus Eagles. Like I said, like I predicted it was going to happen. Give me a second. I'm trying to get our lighting straight here. There we go. And again, like I said, it's three-peat season, folks. This is destiny. It's inevitable. All you haters out there, all these little trolls and shit bitching and crying, oh, the refs, and we're going to get into the ref thing because, of course, they're bitching about that. But none of it matters. All you all are is bit players in the saga and the epic tale, Shakespearean-like play of Patrick Mahomes. That's all you are. You're little side players. You're NPCs. You know, you're side quests and shit. You're not the main character. We all know who the main motherfucking character is. All right? Well, here we go. Like I said, three-peat. It's inevitable. Hell of a game. Hell of a season. Well, let's get into the game. You saw, again, I'm going to get into the fucking troll talk of the fucking refs and what stupid Sean McDermott said, little bitch. We'll get into that in a bit. But let's get into the game. And then I got some stills for you for the Xavier Worthy stuff and the catch. We'll get into that too. But let's get into the game. Very beginning of the game. And, I think the Chiefs won the coin toss. They deferred as they always do. Bills get the ball first. What happens in that game or in that drive? You see a kind of unprepared, little nervous, little rattled, playing a bit tight, Josh Allen. On two plays in that drive, and I don't even know if it might have even been the first two plays of the drive. I'd have to go back and look. He throws damn near interceptions, like twice. I mean, he was lucky they didn't get picked off immediately, but I don't think they were back-to-back. It was like the first throw of the game almost got picked, and like 2 plays later again, And so pressing early, it's a quick drive. Chiefs stop them. They got a punt. We get the ball. Chiefs super efficient. Unlike the Bills, 100% confidence, no jitters, no fucking, no rust, like, no pressing. And they just march down the damn field and we score the first touchdown of the game. Kareem Hunt just running it in, having a hell of a drive there. And I don't know what they must. A quick note, and no one's talked about this in all of the sports shows that I watch and football analysis and all that. No one has mentioned this or commented on it. But Isaiah Pacheco must not be 100%. He came back from his injury. He has not ran. I think I heard sorry about blocking the camera there. I heard one mention of it. Damn it! Try to get there. We go. I heard like one mention of it briefly. Like somebody said, like, you know, he hasn't been the same since coming back from his injury, and then that's it. But I think it's beyond just that. I think he either there's a confidence thing or he's still tender because he is not. They're not even utilizing him. They're like have him on a very very short snap count. Now the other possibility is, and this is um, kind of Andy Reid's formula and MO in the past, he does ride with the hot hand. I will give him that. And maybe he felt, we don't want you to, we don't want to shorten your career. So we're gonna you're gonna be part of the game plan. But Kareem Hunt's been holding it down. We're gonna let him be the lead back. He's gonna be the workhorse because he has, you know, I don't want to say fresher legs, but he has stronger legs because he's not coming off of an injury, and he seems a little bit, of the hotter hand. And then they put Isaiah in there when they need him. It's like, all right, cool, 2, 3 snaps, all right, sit down. And but Kareem Hunt, man, he's been uh, one hell of a player. Great comeback to the organization. It's a great story, and he's utilizing every moment and every opportunity to give back to the team that gave him a second chance. So it's phenomenal, and he's playing like it. He's playing phenomenal. So great drive by him, punches it in for 6, and then Bills come back. I think that we forced them to kick a field goal, 7-3. Then they score a touchdown, 7-10. It was a bit of back and forth and all the bullshit, right? It's been a couple of days, and I haven't rewatched the game since, so I don't have every play fresh in my mind like I would have if it was the very next day or the day itself, because we're on Friday, so it's literally been a week, almost a whole week. Um, Now in that game, I never felt worried that the Chiefs weren't in control. They kind of, you know, I had expected. Now the points, it didn't go like I said it would. I had 2 predictions. It was like either A, Mahomes is going to go scorched earth because he's pissed about the blaming of the refs and basically saying they haven't earned their spot and where they're at. And now I did actually though predict correctly. He did score 3 touchdowns. You know, it was 2 running and I said 3 or 4 touchdowns. He ended up scoring uh, 3 touchdowns overall and nearly 300 yards. If you count the running, I think he went over 300 yards on offense. So I was right about that. He just did it in a different way. It was two on the ground and one throwing touchdown to Watson, to Justin Watson, right? Yeah, Justin Watson had a touchdown. Hunt ran one in, Xavier ran one in, and Mahomes ran in 2. So shit, they scored 5 touchdowns. Damn. There you go. Either way, so but yeah, like I thought, like so I had wonders like he would go score third, and it'd be like 37-17 or something. Uh, didn't go exactly like that. It was more closer to the. I thought it'd be like then I'd like or be a closer game, a little tighter game, 10-30, and then it kind of ended up being the typical 3-point win, Buffalo Kansas City game. Um, Now I do think, like again, like I said, I was not really worried. I was aggravated because I do not know why. I don't know if it's data collecting. I don't know if it's, you know, we're going to hold back our energy, our plays, our adrenaline until the fourth quarter. But the Chiefs have a really bad habit of, on the defense, or on the offense too, for that matter, of taking off the third quarter. Like, what the fuck, man? Like, you guys need to do a better job. And Andy Reid says it all the damn time. We need to do a better job of adjusting in the third quarter. Yes, you do. Because that shit's annoying. Because we had the game well in hand. They had a chance to go like double dip. We had the ball at the end of the first half. They scored some points. Uh, and you could have scored another touchdown and went up by 10 right at the half. And then they just went 3 and out. It's like, what the fuck, man? Come on. And then you allow the teams to come back, and then you have to play hero ball at the end. Now, again, I wasn't worried. I'm like, I knew, like, well, they'll control it as long, you know, they're gonna do. Chiefs and Mahomes is gonna rally the troops. He's gonna stay in control. He's gonna get it done. I just annoying. Like, it's like just we shouldn't have to do that, and we're better than that. And that's the annoying part, is because we know that they are better than that. But I don't know if it's by design. I don't know if they know they're so good. They're like, we're gonna hold our, endurance in the third quarter and just kind of play soft, and then just put it on them in the fourth quarter, because then they're going to be spent. You know, I don't know. Or just lack of focus. Maybe, I don't know. Who knows? They just need to make better adjustments. I hope they make better adjustments than that in the Super Bowl, so I'm not screaming at the TV. Either way. But it was, again, I was there where I knew, um, and so those keep the Josh Allen stuff on the fourth down and all. And, once that happened, I knew the game was over. Once they stopped, I'm like, I don't care how much time was up. I'm like, over. We're, Mahomes gonna milk the clock, and that's a wrap. But that brings me to the next topic, right? Um, let's get into that part. The fucking trolls and the controversies, the two plays or whatever, right? Chiefs get Chiefs only one. It's like, okay, first of all, was it the refs telling Sean McDermott to go for it on fourth down and use the same play over and over 4 times in a row when it was 4th and 1, which was a Josh Allen tush push? He has running backs. What is it? A Brian Cook or whatever the hell his name is, who's one of the best running backs in the league this season. Not once did he try to hand him off the ball to get 2 yards. What he kept calling every single time? Josh Allen tush push. And so by the third, fourth time the Chiefs had it fucking scouted, they stuffed them. And yeah, it was close. Oh, he made it. Blah, too fucking bad. It's too close to call. You're the dumb dipshit who made it easy for the Chiefs to defend it. It wasn't like it was obvious that he went across by 2 yards and you couldn't dispute it. It was disputable. Whose fucking fault is that? Yours. That's a coaching problem, right? So it wasn't the refs that called the same fucking play 4 times in a row. It wasn't the refs that fucking like kicked it on 4th down or whatever, and then didn't get it, and instead of punting or whatever. No, that was another fucking tried for a convert, or the 2-point conversion. That's what I'm talking about. I'm confusing games. Went for 2 twice and missed on both fucking conversions. Just take the fucking points, right? That had nothing to do with the goddamn refs. It wasn't the refs that caused Kincaid to miss that last-minute catch at the end to really put the game out of reach. So, well, I don't want to get too far. We'll get to that. Let's get to the Xavier Worthy catch, right? That's what everyone wants to talk about. Oh, it wasn't even a catch. It hit the ground. Fucking. First of all, you fucking dumb dipshits. Yeah, it did hit the ground. But guess what? The ball can actually hit the fucking ground as long as the receiver doesn't bobble it, it doesn't move, and he doesn't lose control of the ball. It can totally touch the ground. The ground cannot help the receiver maintain possession or help him catch the ball. That's when it becomes incomplete, you fucking idiots. Now, when you watch the replay, you clearly see that he never loses control. Oh, the other player, the Buffalo Bills player, he's the one who caught it. He had the ball. No, he goddamn did it. And I'm going to show you still shots of exactly what happened. And the why people think that the Bills player caught the ball is because you see white gloves around the ball and red gloves that are kind of off to the side. People assumed that the white gloves were that of the Buffalo Bills player because they were wearing white. It wasn't. That fool was wearing red gloves with the white trim. Like, so his basically was wearing red gloves. You know who was wearing white gloves? Xavier fucking Worthy. Red jersey, white gloves. Don't believe me? Let's take a look at the steals.
On Kelsey. Someone's got to pop out now.
Mahomes is looking that way, breaking down, able to get rid of it. And somehow, at the end, I think the Bills, no, they're going to say Worthy has possession. We got a flag down, but this is a catch by Worthy.
Elam was guarding him, and he got beat bad. And what
Look at that.
a job.
There you have it, right? You see that the Buffalo Bill player, the defender, I don't know his name, that's why I keep calling him the Buffalo Bills guy, doesn't never really had possession. He has his arm here, the ball's on in the crease of the elbow, and then he has like fingertips like this. That's not possession, homie. It's not even close to possession. You're just in the vicinity, but the guy who actually has his hands on the ball is Xavier Worthy. Then the ball touches the ground and never moves. Clear possession, like they say, when it's a tie. Not to me, it wasn't even a tie. Xavier Worthy had the ball the whole time. It was a phenomenal fucking catch, proving yet again that he is more than the gadget guy and a speed guy. I told you at the beginning of the season that he was more NFL ready than Tyreek Hill was in his rookie season coming out of college. He has a better route tree. He ran better routes and more routes than Tyreek Hill did when he came into the league. Tyreek Hill very much was only a speed guy and gadget when he came in. We taught him how to be a wide receiver. We taught him routes. It wasn't until the second, third season where he really started to turn it on. He was always fast and dynamic, but he wasn't a good route runner. Xavier Worthy is a hell of a route runner. He knows what he's doing. Now, what we've yet to see from Xavier is explosiveness. He's fast, and it's like, but I don't know if he knows how to use his speed yet at the NFL level. I think he's burning people on the routes. He's juking them. He's tricking them on the route concepts, which is great. That's phenomenal to have this early on because that just means he's going to be so much harder to defend because he's going to be outsmarting defenders and not having to. Now the speed helps because when he goes to like cut or whatever, they can't react to it. But what I'm talking about is those explosive plays where he just cuts one way, goes the other, and like runs up the middle or runs down a seam and is completely by himself the way Tyreek Hill used to do early on. We haven't seen that from him yet. Or if he has, maybe Mahomes just misses him and doesn't see it. So I'm hoping, or not hoping, I'm waiting. I'm eager when that will fully develop into his arsenal, and then it's going to be bombs away. It's going to be amazing. We might see it next year, especially once Rashee Rice is back, and that's going to be a hell of a tandem. I can't wait. We'll talk about that later because after this three-peat, I said it before, we might be going for the four-peat. We'll talk about that later. Let's not jump the gun here. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. All right. Xavier Worthy, hell of a catch. Keep it up. I think in this upcoming Super Bowl, you're going to see another great big game from him. I think you're going to see the game. Ooh, boom, two cars just crashed. Damn, like over here on the exit. What an idiot. Sorry, folks. Like I said, I record this live and I'm on the road. What a jackass. They look like they're okay. They hit a exit there. Like it looked like the guy was exiting, going that way, like trying to, and then some other jackass came from like 4 lanes over to try to also take the exit that he thought he was going to miss, and totally like hit the other guy, and they both went into the wall. Idiots. Be safe out there, folks. Crazy people, right? I do this for a living. I'm on these roads every day. 6 days a week, 70 hours a week. I'm used to this shit. Either way, that's why I'm not fazed by it. Like I see it all the time. Either way, I think Xavier Worthy is. I think he's going to have a hell of a game. I think it's going to be the biggest game of his career thus far. Obviously, it's only 1 year in. So I think he's going to be a tremendous weapon in this Super Bowl. It's gonna be exciting. And if the Eagles don't account for him, good luck, homies. I think D-Hop is gonna have a game because it may be the last game of his career. I think he's gonna put his heart and soul into this. You're gonna see. He may not have a big game, but he might. He's gonna. I predict he's gonna have a Sammy Watkins type of impact, the way Sammy Watkins did in that 49ers Super Bowl win, the first one that we had. Sammy didn't have outstanding number. He wasn't like the focal point of the receiving core that game, but he had some phenomenal catches at key moments. I think that's going to be D-Hop. And you're going to see, clutch plays in big moments. He's going to have about 2 or 3 of them, probably 3 big catches that are going to be crucial from DeAndre Hopkins. Worthy's going to have over 100 yards. I guarantee probably a touchdown. And then Hollywood Brown is probably going to have a handful of catches, probably be used as a distraction and what do they call it? Not a distraction, a decoy. And maybe he'll have a big game. Like I'm waiting. Of course, Kelsey's probably going to have a big game, a lot like a D-Hop. He's going to be there in crucial moments because again, this very well may be Kelsey's last game as well. Travis. So I can't wait. I'll give you more of my prediction on how I think the game will go a little bit later at the end of the video. But yeah, Xavier. So now moving on to the Josh Allen fucking, stuff like the 4th and 1 and doesn't make it, whatever, and all these idiots. Like, no, he didn't make it. Okay, again, have to explain NFL rules to you, numbnuts. Not my Chief fans. You all know, but these trolls, these idiots that don't know football and only been watching, I don't even know when they're watching. I honestly don't. The first down marker is not like the end zone. It is not you get to put the ball over the line and it counts. No. If your body and like your knees basically, like if forward progress is stopped and you're going like this, but your body was stopped over here, guess what? They're marking the ball where your motion was stopped. It doesn't matter that the ball crossed the plane. This is not the end zone. They mark first down marker where progress is stopped. Oh, his head was over the marker. So what? His head is not the ball. The ball's on this side. His motion is stopped. His head might be over here, but his body was stopped a yard before the first down marker. That's what they marked it. There's an overhead view of that play. You clearly see he's a yard behind the fucking marker, especially where the ball is. So if I can find it, I'll put it up. But so no, was not a 4th goddamn down. He didn't get it. Suck a dick. And then the other thing is, again, like I said earlier, if y'all were so sure that all the refs were, going to cheat for the Chiefs and all that, especially that according to Sean McDermott by his dumbass comment, then why did you let it go? Why would you call that play? Why not hand it to your all-pro running back who's had a hell of a season? Instead, you call the same play when it's 4th and short over and over and over again. Tush push with Josh Allen. You're an idiot. Like, it was predictable. You got out-coached. That's all that is. Like, but yeah, and since we paused, as you saw, I added the clip there of the overhead view. So, again, you're like just too bad, so sad. You suck. Okay, don't call a predictable play and end up being a toss up whether it can be called one way or the other. That's on you, homie. Uh, you know, shut up, stupid ass censor. There's so many. Again, like just different things in that game that they could have did better, and they just didn't. Has nothing to do with the refs. You know, was it the refs that left Justin Watson wide open in the back of the end zone for that Mahomes touchdown? No. Was it the refs that bullied their way into the end zone on a run with Kareem Hunt? Like they put on a Kareem Hunt jersey and that was a ref? No. Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, with that stupid bullshit. So it's hilarious that the coach and apparently the GM just would say, again, this is loser mentality. That's what it is. It's loser mentality, not taking ownership of your failings by sitting there crying about the refs. What's your excuse the other 3 times you guys lost in the playoffs? Because it sure as fuck can't be that Mahomes decided to beat you with his legs. Something we've never seen. Design runs, design quarterback draws. We've never seen by Mahomes. And they set your ass up for it because they had the same design play that they handed off, and he gave it to Kareem Hunt early in that drive, the drive that Kareem Hunt scored on. It was the same play. But then as the game progressed, they decided they're going to bite on this because we've done it to him already with Kareem. I'm going to let them think that I'm going to hand it off again, but this time I'm going to keep it. And he did, and it worked. It's called being outcoached. It's what it is. Deal with it, losers. All right, moving on. So, like I said, one hell of a game. Your Chiefs are going back to the Super Bowl to complete the saga that is the three-peat against the Philadelphia Eagles, who totally smashed the Detroit Lions. Now, let's move on to that. I had predicted that the Eagles were going to win. And even if the Lions, now the game went as bad as it did for the Lions, because I will admit, they were decimated on defense. I knew that they had lost a lot of players, other key players. And that's hard. When you have injuries like we had injuries at the Super Bowl against Tampa, I mean, there's only so much a team can handle when it comes to that, and you can have depth. But I mean, when it's injury upon injury upon injury, at some point that dam just breaks, and that's what happened with the Lions. With that said, even if they weren't as injured as they were, I think they still would have lost. Because I've said it before, the Lions are a good team. I give them credit for not being the laughingstock of the league anymore. They've arrived, but they remind me, without the arrogance, like they are arrogant. That's the one flaw. Like they think they want some shit and they haven't yet. But they remind me of the Kansas City Chiefs back in like the Trent Green days, and to a certain extent the Alex Smith days. Where we were good, we were a perennial contender. We'd make it to the playoffs every year. We had a 13-3, 12-4, more than 10 or above win season. But then we'd be one and done in the playoffs. Maybe go to the divisional round. Now, I give them credit that they've gone farther in 2 years than the Chiefs did in those years, back when it was Trent Green and like Alex Smith, even Joe Montana. Well, the exception of Joe Montana because he got us to the AFC Championship before he got injured. But they remind me of us. We're good. We compete with anybody. We look great. We look good in the regular season. Even at some points hold some pretty strong records, if not the best record in the AFC. All to lose it in the playoffs because we just weren't that team. When it came to really, really stepping up and being the top dog, it just wasn't there. Why? Because A, the team was young, wasn't used to it, and B, they had an aging, not like a good quarterback, a guy that's been there kind of, but isn't that guy. He's not the guy that's going to get you over the hump, and that's Jared Goff. Okay, Jared Goff is the Trent Green of their, is Jared Goff to us is what Trent Green was. How's that saying? Whatever. You know what the fuck I mean. He's the Alex Smith like to the Lions for us, right? When we had Alex Smith or Trent Green back in the day. So I see that's where they're at. And I think until that changes, if they go out and get like shit, if they land Shadur, or not even, because I would say Shadur Shakur or whatever, Shadur Sanders, but to me, from the reports I'm hearing, he's not going to be that great, but if they go out and find a dynamic quarterback in the draft that is like, kind of like a Jaden Daniels, then they're going to be, then they might be dangerous, like, or they're going to get over that. But in their current state, that's all they're ever going to be. They're going to be good in the regular season. They'll beat some great teams. They'll put up some numbers. They'll put up some records. And then ultimately, they won't be able to get over the hump. They won't be able to beat veteran teams that have been there, that have like legitimate leadership, championship caliber players, and just swagger. And that is the Philadelphia Eagles. That is teams when they're healthy, like the San Francisco 49ers, as much as I hate to give them credit. But they are, it's like, who are the teams that are constantly there? The Rams, the Niners, the Eagles, right? That's kind of what it's been the last few years. Those teams. And it was almost those teams again. The Rams were right there, and then they got beat. So now again, if the Lions go out and find a diamond in the rough, or Jaden Daniels, I'm not going to say a Patrick Mahomes, because no one's ever going to find that. Not for generations at this point. Tom Brady ruled for 16 years, or however the fuck, million years he was in the league. That's going to be Patrick Mahomes. You're going to have a lot of wannabes. You're going to have a lot of lookalikes. Caleb Williams. But you're not going to get a Mahomes. And so I knew Lions weren't going to make it. They just, even if they were healthy, they would have put up a better fight for sure. But there's just something about that team that I know that they don't got. And maybe it's because they're so busy trying to prove that they belong. They're not worried. They're not spending time worrying about, let's just win. Like, they're trying to prove we belong. We belong. Just win. Just focus on winning. Now again, this was different this year in that game because they were had so many injuries. It was just hard to get over that, and I understand that. We've had that problem back in the day. So, and without a superhero at quarterback, you ain't surviving that. So, yeah. Moving on. So, the Eagles did their job, smashed the shit out of the Lions to move on to as your NFC Conference champions, to go meet their fate against the reigning, defending, undisputed champions of the world, the soon-to-be three-peat champions, Kansas City Chiefs. With the refs on our side, Taylor Swift and Black Magic, it is inevitable that this three-peat is about to happen. And then all doubt will be silenced. And Patrick Mahomes will be hailed as the greatest of all time, already at the age of 30. Because no one else becomes a goddamn three-peat. Not even Cheat Brady. Bill Belichick. Motherfuckers. All right, what else? I don't know what else I want to talk about. This will probably be a pretty short episode. Like I said, I'm not as fired up as I probably would have been the next day. But I think, I don't know if I want to give you a final score for that game. It's tough. The Eagles are good. So I don't know. I'll come back with some final thoughts. I'll probably give you a fucking score prediction, and we'll see, and then we'll just see, man. We'll just see. We'll maybe I'll do a video right before the Super Bowl, like a little recapping shit. We'll see what's up. We'll be back with some final thoughts. All right, that about wraps up today's episode, folks. Thank you for joining me. And final thoughts, little prediction for the game. I guess I'll give you a point prediction. I don't know. Again, the Chiefs are going to complete their destiny. The inevitability that is the Kansas City Chiefs. And they're going to complete the three-peat. They're going to make history. They will go down officially as the greatest dynasty and greatest team ever assembled by accomplishing something that hasn't happened in the modern era in the NFL. 3 wins in a row with no signs of slowing down. It's going to be phenomenal. Now, couple of quick notes that I didn't get into the episode. Mahomes goes and passes Joe Montana for the most wins, most playoff wins in a career. Second now all time behind only Tom Brady. And Tom Brady has something insane like 39. And it's kind of like, well, how the fuck does he have that many? What was really like 16 or whatever the fuck it is. Because Tom Brady a lot of times would fucking have to play 3 goddamn games. The wild card, the division round, and then the conference championship. And a lot of those times he'd win all 3. If he'd either win 2, lose the conference championship, or win 3, go to Super Bowl and lose. And they did that for 10 years. So, I mean, those fucking playoff wins started to rack up. The Chiefs and Mahomes have a little bit less on that trajectory, only because most of the time in these 7 seasons he's been the starter. 7 or 6. Let's see. Hang on. Let me count it. He went first year as a rookie, didn't play. Second year went all the way to AFC Championship, lost. Third year went all the way to Super Bowl, won it. Fourth year went back to the Super Bowl, lost it to the Tampa fucking shitty Buccaneers. Fifth year went to AFC Championship, lost to the Bengals. Then we went back to back, and now it's okay. Yeah, so he's 8 years in these 8 years, but 7 as a starter. That's why I always get confused. It's hard to try to keep that shit up. So, in these 7 years that he's been a starter, every single time, most of the time, actually, with the exception of 1, the Chiefs only had to ever play 2 games. Division round, conference championship. Just only last year was the only time we played a wild card round with Mahomes at the helm. So his playoff count is kind of like it's on a shorter like pitch count, I guess, compared to Brady, because we're not having to play as many playoff games right off the fucking bat. So he may not catch Brady in playoff games because he may not ever have to play that many, but we'll see. I mean, he's not going to win every year. He might win 4 though. Well, like I said, we'll talk about that later after the 3-peat. So congrats to Patrick Mahomes. He also becomes the only player in NFL history surpassing Tom Brady with 5 Super Bowl appearances before the age of 30. He's the only one that has that many. Everybody else has I think 3 and maybe 4, if that. I'll have to check the graphic. But he stands alone at the top with the most appearances before the age of 30 at 5. That's fucking insane. That's insane. Obviously the Chiefs are going to win it. I think they're going to go over 30 again. I'd say 37-28 Kansas City Chiefs. And I think that 28 by the Eagles is going to be garbage time points at the end. I think it's going to be like 21, 30-ish. And then the Chiefs will score again in the fourth quarter, put it like at 37. And then the Eagles will answer. And then we're just going to run out the clock 37-28, something like that. Right? least I'm hoping. I want it to be a full score. I don't want to have to fucking scream at the thing. Mahomes, and not that they need it, but I'd like to see a blowout in the Super Bowl. I don't want to see them struggle because that's the big criticism. Mahomes hasn't had a dominant Super Bowl. Blah, 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 blah. How poetic would it be is if in this game, and it very may well happen because he's still pissed. They're still doing it. They're still not giving the Chiefs, even though they finished the season with the starters 15-1. Saying, oh, they didn't earn it. Oh, this is the weakest team Mahomes ever had. Oh, the refs are helping them. They don't deserve it. He's hearing that, and this may be the game where he says, fuck you all, watch this shit. And it's not a close game. They don't got Jason Kelsey. I don't think this Eagles team is as good as the one we faced 2 years ago. So, let's see what happens. 37-28. But if Mahomes fucking just turns it on to another level, it can be even worse. I mean, especially if the defense turns it on, it might be 37-17. So, can't wait. We'll see what happens. And whether it's dipshit Sean McDermott, the fucking trolls on the internet still bitching about bad calls. I don't know, anybody. Fuck it. It don't matter. Because when it comes to Patrick Mahomes and the soon-to-be three-time champion, three-peat Kansas City Chiefs,
He'll get handled when he gets handled.